On a cabaret stage, Mr. K is doing his magic act. His tricks are quite impressive, but sadly, the crowd isn't paying any attention to him. Sometime later, Mr. K arrives at a hotel in the middle of nowhere, where the manager's dog growls at him. Tomorrow morning, he's supposed to perform at a cafe in the area, but the manager refuses to give him directions before they do the check-in. She takes him to his room and explains all the rules. In the hallway, Mr. K sees a kid around the corner and does a little trick that sends out a butterfly, but the child runs away when the manager glares at him. Afterward, Mr. K tries to settle down, but he's shocked to find a pair of legs sticking out from under the bed. He takes a closer look and finds an old guy staring back at him. Without a word, the man crawls out and leaves the room. Then, Mr. K hears a noise and opens the wardrobe where he finds a maid hiding. She also leaves the room without saying anything. Mr. K looks out the door and sees the two intruders talking, but they leave when they notice him. When K unpacks his suitcase, he finds his poster and tears it in half. He doesn't see something moving under the wallpaper or the water leak. The next morning, he gets ready to leave, and when he comes across the maid, he pranks her by startling her. As he walks down the corridor, he notices the word Liberator written in red on the wall. He keeps walking and walking, but he can't find the exit, and every turn he takes is a dead end. Suddenly, he hears a strange noise in the pipes, which start shaking. Soon, the entire building is shaking, and the lights start flickering while the weird noise echoes in the walls. Small panels in the walls then open, and a bunch of musicians come out playing their instruments very loudly. They walk toward Mr. K, who immediately takes off and is freaked out by the band following him. He finds some stairs and goes to the next floor, only for the musicians to follow him there, too. An old lady has come out to see what the noise is about, and K takes the chance to hide with her. He closes the room and turns around to learn that it's two ladies before he passes out. Moments later, Mr. K wakes up on the couch. The ladies introduce themselves, and they offer him some coffee. They're delighted to hear that K is a magician and want to know if he saw his people in half. Feeling uncomfortable, Mr. K announces he has to go. So, the sisters take him to the floor map. He finds the "You Are Here" spot, but still no exit. The sisters tell him they haven't left the hotel for years because the stairs are too much for their old legs and they have everything they need here. They apologize for not being able to help him and tell him he should visit the Oracle. Mr. K makes a flower appear for them before leaving. After he crosses a few more corridors, the lights start flickering again and he sees some kids running around. Melinda moves from one room to another one and Mr. K tries going after her to ask for help, but the door is closed. While he's distracted, the kids steal one of his suitcases and hide in a room. Mr. K rushes to follow them. However, when he opens the door, he only finds a closet. At that moment, the band appears at the end of the corridor and two waiters rush into the closet. So, Mr. K follows them. Now, he finds himself in a room with the band and is seen by Gaga, who calls him a new guest before dragging him to the main table. He's too worried about his suitcase, so Gaga goes looking for the kids while the waiters keep offering him food. Whenever K tries to look into the other room, a guy on the table keeps moving to block his vision and talks about how amazing Gaga is. Soon, she comes back without the suitcase and starts talking about art, saying that her musicians are on the tour of the century. Then Gaga gets ready for her bath and the band leaves the room, pushing Mr. K out of it. In the process, the crowd takes over the hallway, filling it with chaos. Mr. K sees the time and realizes he's lost his appointment. A waiter trips and puts a tray in his hand. So Melinda puts him in line with the other waiters and takes them downstairs to the kitchen. After she puts an apron on him, Mr. K is pushed into the assembly line where dozens of cooks are getting food ready. Anton explains that Melinda is the head chef's daughter and that K is lucky to have this job because it's hard to get accepted here. To try to convince the cooks that he isn't another employee, Mr. K starts making tricks with some eggs and even juggles them. However, Melinda only tells him to be on time for work tomorrow. After the shift is over, Mr. K is taken to the bedroom where all the employees drink and fall asleep in a pile. He has a weird dream about a bleeding crack on a wall. In the morning, Anton wakes K up and he's shocked to find himself in old clothes instead of his fine suit. So, Anton takes pants from another worker for him to wear. In the kitchen, Mr. K hears the pipes make some weird noises, but Anton tells him not to worry because there's been trouble with the water system lately. Tired of waiting, Mr. K tries to leave the kitchen only for Melinda to suddenly drag him into the storeroom. She pushes him against the furniture and has her way with him. Afterward, Mr. K is sent to the chef's office and forced to hear a long lecture about eggs. He shares a drink with K, saying that he likes him and that he's really talented, so he may share all his knowledge with him. Later in the room, Anton is surprised to see that Mr. K came back with some books that the chef gave him. While Anton takes a book to learn a bit, too, Mr. K uses the bubbles in the room to do some tricks. At that moment, he hears the pipe noises again, so he leaves the room to investigate. After locking the door, he hears the noise again and opens his arms to try to touch both walls at the same time to no avail. Then K goes to the bathroom, obviously closing the door for privacy. Suddenly, the knob starts shaking, and it doesn't stop until Mr. K says it's occupied. Then, a voice talks and whispers, asking K if he's real, and if rumors of him being the Liberator are true. As the voice says that there isn't much time, the lid on the bottom of the door is pushed off, and a bunch of hands reach inside. Mr. kicks them while saying they must have confused him for someone else. Yet the hands keep pulling at his leg. It isn't until K says he's no one that the hands disappear. Afraid and confused, he decides to spend the night in the bathroom. In the morning, Anton comes to pick him up for work and Mr. K ends up puking. Then K notices that the word Liberator has appeared on these walls, too. Anton thinks it's just a prank from vandals and the duo goes to the kitchen. While working, Anton shares that he's been at the hotel for 7 years and he can't remember the last time he was outside, so he doesn't know where the exit is either. At that moment, the dog appears by K's feet, and soon the manager enters the kitchen. Mr. K tries to follow her, but after a few turns, he loses sight of her. Then K goes to the chef's office and tries to quit, hoping someone will kick him out. However, the chef offers him a promotion to make him stay. K turns it down, causing the chef to cry and beg on his knees. When the man hugs Mr. K, he asks him to trust him. The chef takes K to his new spot in the kitchen and gives him a fancier hat, which makes Anton jealous. After the shift is over, Mr. K tries to chat with Anton, who is furious. Anton thinks K only wants to reach the top and he doesn't care who he brings down in the process. K decides to sleep in his hotel room where he keeps hearing the pipe noises in the walls. Just in case, he ties a tight rope from the window to the door. The next morning, he finds it sagging. This means the room has gotten smaller and the noise is the walls shifting. He rushes to tell Anton that the hotel is shrinking, proving it by showing how his hands can now touch both walls at the same time. Anton doesn't believe him, but when they go to the kitchen, they find utter chaos over the lack of space. Mr. K tells the chef they should evacuate the hotel, but the chef refuses, saying they must cook for their guests. This makes K snap and yell before jumping on the table to explain what's happening to the staff. The workers hit their pans while Mr. K jumps from table to table, asking them if their lives are worth nothing. At that moment, the chef feels chest pain and he stumbles, but he still orders his staff to kick Mr. K out of the kitchen. K is thrown in the corridor and the kitchen door is locked to keep him out. Afterward, Mr. K goes looking for the sisters and discovers all the guests have been leaving furniture in the corridor because it no longer fits in their rooms. K helps the duo get their couch out and they mention the presence of the divine in the hotel. Then the sisters go back to their room and play music loudly while singing along. In his room, Mr. K finds a map in a drawer while hearing the noises accumulating. The pipes keep shaking. The band marches through the corridor with Gaga. The kitchen staff is making music with their tools and even the manager dances along. A pipe breaks and leaks on the wallpaper while K feels like his head is about to explode. A wall cracks as it shrinks and the window in K's room suddenly explodes, causing him to fall. With all the noises finally stopping, Mr. K takes a look through the broken glass and sees the other walls of the hotel. At that moment, all the other windows also explode, throwing him back on the bed. Afterward, Mr. K hangs the map on the wall using some gum and adds a piece of paper with a quarter drawn by him. Since the room has shrunk, he throws some furniture out the window before going to the closet to get some chalk. Then he starts exploring the quarters, marking the walls and floor with chalk and drawing a diagram on a notebook so he can add the pages to his map. In a storage closet, he finds some food. Sometimes he peeks into the kitchen, but Melinda glares at him to make him leave. The map keeps growing into an impossible size, and it drives Mr. K so crazy that to deal with the stress, he yells through the window that he isn't giving up. As time passes, more furniture appears in the corridors. Eventually, Mr. K finds the manager's dog, who starts licking the wall. At that moment, the power goes out and Mr. K thinks he's alone in the dark until a flashlight startles him. It's the man K found under his bed who now drops the flashlight on the ground. When K picks it up, the man is gone. Mr. K looks around for a few seconds only for the power to come back and reveal the man at the end of the quarter. No matter how many questions K asks, the guy won't speak. And if Mr. K tries to approach him, he steps back. The next morning, Mr. K wakes up in bed and finds the old man sleeping at his feet. He tries waking him up to no avail. Later, while K continues to work on his map, the man follows him around and even accepts a snack from K before he finally leaves. At that moment, Mr. K is horrified to discover some creepy tentacles moving in the cracks on the wall. He lifts the wallpaper and finds a strange organism made of tentacles. When K pokes it, they squirm and make the whole building shake. Sensing this, the manager starts looking for the cause. Mr. K tries using a tray to separate the organism from the wall, only for the building to shake again and the lights to flicker. A pipe also breaks, so Mr. K decides to leave the corridor. After seeing the word Liberator again, K returns to his room and finds the guy waiting there. K drinks some alcohol before turning around and finding a whole family sitting by the bed in the main corridor. The manager tries to help the organism stay on the wall. When Mr. K goes back to mapping the area, he finds lots of people in the corridors and they all start to follow him. They also try to touch him as if he was a holy savior. He snaps and yells at them to stop before realizing he can use their devotion. Mr. K hands out paper and chalk, asking the crowd to help him make the map. They all cheer before spreading. Then Kay climbs on a pile of furniture and sees the manager, but he slips and hits his head, which knocks him out. Moments later, Kay wakes up and returns to his room, where he discovers that the crowd has eaten all his food, but they didn't draw a single map. A man is even using Kay's toothbrush. A furious Mr. K tries to set up rules, but he's ignored as more people keep coming in through the door and the window. Afterward, Mr. K goes to the kitchen, which has shrunk a lot and is covered in moss. The staff is drinking as usual and Kay doesn't know what to do. Anton surprises him from behind and invites him to come in, saying they can pretend nothing happened. However, Kay refuses to. Ignore the truth, and Anton points out Kay's truth isn't better than his. When Mr. K tries to return to his room, he can't open it because lots of people are sleeping against it. Kay has no choice but to sleep in the corridor, and the hotel drops the wallpaper on him as a blanket. In the morning, Kay is woken up by a phone ringing. He rushes into his room only to discover that a guest has already taken the call and hung up. Kay goes crazy and shakes the man, blaming him for ruining everything. He gets so violent that the others have to pull him away. The crowd says he gave them false hope because he hasn't found the exit and ignores Kay when he tries to explain he never called himself a savior. Soon the corridor is also covered in moss and a rabbit appears. Mr. Kay realizes the animal has found his suitcase and looks inside for his things. At that moment, the dog runs by and Mr. K follows it to discover some men washing off the chalk from the walls. Realizing that the crowd has been working against him, Mr. K yells at them and chases them to his room, where he starts hitting everyone with a broom to force them to leave. Once he's calmed down, Kay notices something in the bed. It's the map pieces which the crowd had been hiding under the sheets. Objects start flying through the window and Kay looks out. It seems the group has taken over another room and is throwing things at him as punishment. So, Mr. K breaks the bed and covers the window with wood planks. Then, the ceiling light slowly unscrews itself and Mr. K moves out of the way before it falls. The sisters appear in the hole and offer him coffee while he works on putting the map back together. Eventually, he decides to go out again to draw new map pieces, only to find the angry crowd blocking the corridor, including Anton and Melinda. A chase ensues, and Mr. K has to rush back to his room, where he blocks the door with a chair. There are people pounding on the door while others keep throwing things at his window. The sisters tell K that the way out doesn't have to be the same way he came in. A tired Mr. K mocks them by opening various drawers, but when he moves the wardrobe too, he's shocked to find the tentacle organism on the wall. It creates a creepy tunnel that the sisters call magnificent yet hideous. Mr. K is willing to take the risk, but the sisters refuse to go with him. Scared but determined, K starts crawling through the nasty tunnel. Noticing a light at the end, he finds a membrane blocking the exit, and when he touches it, a strange squid-like creature on the other side makes a noise. Mr. K asks it what it wants and concentrates to feel what it feels. Learning that it's tired and won't last for much longer. K thinks it deserves to be free. At the same time, the crowd breaks down the door and bursts into the room. They hear the creature and think it's the Oracle, so they fall on their knees to pray. Soon, more people are entering the tunnel, and their clumsiness causes the creature lots of pain. The hotel walls shake and Kay realizes they're killing it. At that moment, the manager bursts into the room and desperately pulls people back. She then tries to get in and tells Kay that he's a murderer, but he ignores her and starts pushing the membrane until the creature is out and darkness takes over. Suddenly, Mr. K finds himself floating in water. The creature appears around him and grabs his leg to drag him to the light above. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.